Beneath these shrouds are the faces of men, women, and children their families long to see again, long to know what happened to them. Last week, 31 husbands, grandmothers, and daughters were buried in an unmarked grave in this cemetery in Iraq's Karbala province. The morgue in neighboring Babel province gave the bodies to a local charity, saying they were unidentified and unclaimed.
There is negligence on the part of the government. The government should have announced to the public the existence of these bodies. DNA tests must be conducted to determine their identities so that they can be returned to their rightful relatives.
Human rights groups are accusing the government of covering up possible sectarian violence. About 250 bodies have been given to the same charity for burial since 2016. The governor of Babel province says they're from the area and their causes of death range from what he calls terrorism to murder. Suspicions have been raised because witnesses say the bodies are likely from a Sunni-dominated town called Jurf el-Sakhar. It was once controlled by ISIL. During the battle to defeat it, Shia paramilitary groups are accused of killing civilians and forcibly displacing the population. The Iraqi High Commission for Human Rights is calling on the government to investigate reports of additional bodies scattered beneath the soil in Babel province. The government denies there is anything suspicious going on.
There has been a lot of negative media coverage in order to take a sectarian turn. These bodies were stored at the morgue to be identified. After the investigation was over, they were buried because the bodies were not claimed by their families.
But with so many families in the area still living in displacement camps, that might explain why no one came forward to identify the 250 bodies. For all Sana Khoder knows, her son could be among them. The family is from Jurf el-Sakhar. She hasn't seen her son since 2015, when she says a Shia armed group accused him of being an ISIL member and arrested him. Her family was later driven out of their home. They're afraid if they return, they'll be killed.
He did nothing wrong. If he had, I would testify against him. But as God is my witness, he did nothing wrong.
Khoder, like so many Iraqis, may never know what happened to her loved one. The answers could be buried deep in the soil of her country. Natasha, Ghoneim, Jazeera, Baghdad.